Hey, hi, it's Stephanie with This Reader's Life. I'm excited to be here and I'm glad that you're here. Hi, hey, it's Stephanie with This Reader's Life. I'm so glad that you're here today, and um, my channel is mostly about books. It's also about other blessings that happen in life, but mostly it's about books. And today is Tag Tuesday. Tag Tuesday is probably my favorite, one of my favorite types of videos to do. It's fun and it's sort of guided a little bit, but that doesn't mean you don't go off the track just a little bit now and then. But it's fun. I was tagged by Suey's Book Banter, and the tag itself. I'm going to put my glasses on because I had to take some notes for this one for sure. It's a new book tag, and it was created by Sue SueJacksonDE. In celebration of her 5-year anniversary on BookTube, which is so cool. So congratulations on that. And some of these have you name 5 things. Some of the prompts do. Not all of them do. And I think on one of these I may have come up short. But anyway, it's really fun. And if you decide you'd like to do it, consider yourself tagged. And I will tag 5 people individually at the end on my down below in the comments. So prompt number 1, let's go. How long have you been on YouTube? When did you start your channel and what were your goals? I'm a newbie, a really newbie. I started in October of 2025, and actually the very, very first video that I put out there, I had no idea that I was absolutely going to do BookTube yet, and but by the second one I had firmed it up. So it's been about 4 months, which is really short period of time, and it's been a slow go for me, but I'm still really, really having a good time. And the reason I started it, it's sort of a progression of things. I retired from work, and I was excited to have time to myself and do whatever it was that I wanted to do. My husband is not in perfect health, so we don't travel a lot. We spend a good deal of our time at home, and I have lots of things that keep me busy, but I thought, it's been years since I've really read a lot. I've always been a reader, but it's been a long time since I've read one book after another and gone to the library regularly. And I thought, I want to read more. And so I checked YouTube for more books to read and, finding recommendations. And of course, that was where I started to run into BookTubers. And after I'd been watching it for a while, I thought, I want to do this. And so here I am. It's like it's a club. I'm missing out on it and I want to join. So it's super scary. I'm still learning lots. There's still lots of things that I'm sure I'm doing wrong. I hope I don't do anything that's like a major faux pas that you get kicked out for, but so far so good. And I'm having fun. I would encourage anybody to do it because it is a bunch of fun, and I like it. So anyway, let's go to number 2. Name 5 channels that you watch most regularly and try to keep up with. Well, I've got more than 5, but I will name the ones that come to mind right away. Pat with Book Chat with Pat. She was one of the first ones that I ever watched. I absolutely love Pat, and I think she's a wonderful person besides being a wonderful, she's a former English teacher, and she and I are about the same age, and I think I almost feel like I know Pat. So it's really interesting to the way that happens and how quickly that happens. Another one that I watch quite a bit is Rosamond from Books from My Bookshelf, and she is from someplace in England, I think, and she also writes. And the thing I love about Rosamond is that she talks a lot about books that are not mainstream bestsellers, just great books. And that's one of the things that I really strive to bring forward some, and I admire her for it a great deal. She also writes. I've read one of her books, and I enjoy her very much, so you might want to check that out. Again, it's Rosamond, Books from My Bookshelf. The next one that I'm going to mention is Shelley Swearingen, and I can't imagine a booktuber that doesn't know Shelley Swearingen, her channel. She was probably one of the very first ones, and she is the happiest booktube person that I know. She's always upbeat, and although she has had a few moments where where she's been very disturbed by something, and her emotions do show for sure. But I just love what she has to say, and she's the person that made me realize real people can do this, and they can do it well. So Shelley Swearingen is one. Bookburger, her name is Danielle, and Bookburger is, she reads a lot of different kinds of books, and she reads a lot of thrifted books. And I like to watch Danielle with Bookburger. And then there's Lori at Books, Ink, and Paper. And Lori is I enjoy her because, well, number one, she seems honest. And number two, I think we fall into some of the same categories book-wise. And she takes what she's doing seriously, and but she's also enjoying herself, which is obvious. And I really like that. That's one of the channels I like. Name 5 channels that you enjoy that are smaller or newer and that you'd like other people to know about. Well, I have 5 here. I think all of them are probably larger than I am as far as subscribers go, but there's some that I really, really enjoy watching. One is Victoria at Hot Cocoa and Books. The other one would be Chrissy, Finding Faith in Fiction. I enjoy her. Rosie at Rosie, and I just picked up on her, and I think she's very, very, very new, but Rosie at the name of her channel is Rosie, and her name is Rosie. I like Mike from Bibliophile. The name of his channel is Bibliophile-Fiction, and I enjoy him a lot, and he's very fun to watch, and I enjoy him very much. He's very honest. That seems to be the thing that makes it so much more enjoyable, is when it's just real people. And then another one is Kim at Lifelong Reader and The Lifelong Reader, and I enjoy her immensely. She reads a lot of books that I enjoy too, and I'm jealous of her hair. I think she's got the most beautiful hair I've ever seen. But anyway, so those are 5 channels that I really enjoy, and they are kind of small. But like I said, they're all bigger than me. I don't consider anybody small on BookTube. Name 5 of your best commenters who may or may not have channels of their own, with whom you've developed a friendship just through commenting back and forth. And I am new enough that I'm not going to say I've developed big, long-lasting friendships with anyone. Pat at Book Chat with Pat has been very kind to me in her comments, and we've gone back and forth a few times talking about something. Perry Carrington, who is not a booktuber, she is my niece, but she is, we don't see each other a lot, and like I said, she doesn't have a channel. She's been very, very helpful to me. She leaves some good comments out there for me, and I appreciate her, and I love her dearly because she's my niece, of course, but she's also a really cool person. And Suey at Suey's Book Banner has mentioned me, and again, at this time, I have not developed any super long-lasting friendships, but I hope it's going that direction. I appreciate the connections so much. Name 5 classics that you love. Okay. Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. This is hard for me to narrow down. Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. That's probably my number 1. That and Jane Eyre. Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. And Rebecca, Daphne du Maurier. I love all of those books, and I think one that's going to fall onto my favorite classics is going to be Middlemarch, but I've not completed it yet. I've been listening to it. Speaking of which, if you listen to audiobooks, name 5 audiobooks that are extra special because of the audio production. And I've just started listening to audiobooks again. I used to work at a job where I could put at the time it was big headphones, but I could put headphones on and listen to books the whole time that I worked. And I listened to a lot of books and a lot of long books. But the one right now that stands out is the one that I'm listening to, which is Middlemarch. It's by George Eliot, but it's narrated by Maureen O'Brien, and she's very, very good. I'm enjoying it a lot. Another one that I remember thinking an awful lot of especially because of the presentation, is Boys in the Trees. Carly Simon wrote it, and it's an autobiography, and she also reads it, and it was lovely to listen to. She even sings now and then just a little bit, or uses some of her music, at the beginning of chapters and things like that. I enjoyed that so much. It was very, very well done. Another book that I liked was called Faithful Place, and Tana French she didn't read it, Tana French wrote it, and I apologize, I'll try to put it up. I can't remember who it is that narrated it, but he's good. And then, where is my last one? I had one more. One, two, no I don't. Oh, Outlander. The Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. Believe it or not, her books are very long. I listened to 8 of her books while I was working, and they are, they are narrated by, I believe her name is Davina Porter, and what I heard is that her last book is not going to be narrated by Davina Porter because she has retired, but she made those books good to me, and I enjoyed her so much. She was a wonderful narrator. So that is, to me, that's what makes an audiobook special, is when the narrator does a good job, and that's what I've got to say about those. Name 5 books you loved that you rarely hear about and you'd love for more people to discover. I'm sort of going to mention a couple of authors who I think are very good, but one is, Nelson DeMille. Very good. I believe he wrote Charm School, and that's one of my all-time favorite books that I've ever read. And also, way back, Sidney Sheldon wrote for television too, and his books are sort of, sometimes they're very modern, I would say. But Sidney Sheldon, I like Sidney Sheldon's book. He wrote The Other Side of Midnight years and years and years ago, and I enjoyed that. And the other is I Think If Tomorrow Ever Comes, that he wrote, and I might not be right about that one. But another one is a book titled Laura. It is by Donald Zuckert, and it is a biography about Laura Ingalls Wilder, and of all the biographies that have come out through the years, and there have been a pretty good number, his is my favorite. I loved his biography about Laura. I don't think it gets mentioned very often. And if you're not a fan of Laura Ingalls Wilder, there would be really no reason to read it. But I just don't hear about that one as often as I'd like to when I'm hearing about Laura Ingalls Wilder, who was a favorite from my childhood. Another book, which was a childhood book, was A Girl of the Limberlost by Jean Stratton Porter. And I believe she had, that may have been the second in a series. Freckles may have been the first one. But I read A Girl of the Limberlost as a young girl, and I still remember that book. It set a mood that was just so lovely. Another one that I read probably when I was in my 20s that you don't hear about very often is a book called The Starlight Drive-In by Marjorie Reynolds, and it was sort of a coming of age story and about a family. The father, I believe, was like the guy who ran the drive-in, and the mother was an agoraphobic. There was a little girl in it, about 12 years old. Loved that book. I love that book, and you never hear anything about it. Another one that is a memoir is Haven Kimmel's book called A Girl Named Zippy, and it's growing up small in Moreland, Indiana, and I believe she writes about her childhood in a small town, and it's just delightful. And Haven Kimmel's a good writer, and you don't hear about her very much. She also wrote a great memoir about her mother that was really, really good. About her mother decided to educate herself, and by golly, she did. But I enjoyed that book. So those are the 5 books that I think people should read, and that they should be talked about and promoted more. And then the last prompt is to tag 5 other booktubers. So anyone that's listening, if you want to do this tag, I think you should. It's fun. And I will tag some more 5 people below. And thank you very much. That's what we've got for today. And these, like I said, I love Tag Tuesdays. If I would love to make one up, but I haven't done that yet. I feel like I haven't paid all my dues yet for BookTube. But anyway, until we talk again, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and be kind to the planet. Y'all have a blessed day, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.